Hello everyone, it's Sarah aka Vocaleaf, and as you can see, to no surprise, I've dyed my hair again. So in today's video I thought I'd show some clips and talk about how I did my colour block hair. It's a bit like half and half, but with a different fringe. This isn't the first time I've done half and half, however, it's a lot harder when you have short hair. I've discovered that. But anyway, I'll get into some more of the details later. I'll pop up the footage here that I got from me dyeing my hair, and just another kind of like I don't know what the word is, but I'm just saying this hair colour did not come from this footage that I'm about to show you. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that my hair was like a lot brighter than this, and that was when I first dyed it, which is this the footage that I'm about to show you. However, I wasn't 100% happy with those shades, so when I needed to bleach my roots, I kind of lifted the colour as much as I could and kind of redid it. I didn't completely make a complete clean canvas because there was no point. I just got the purple pretty much went, but I got the blue and the pink to quite a pastel shade and then just added onto the pastel because I wasn't quite sure on the darker, brighter tones that I had. I much prefer these shades and I'm in love with these shades. I'm not saying I didn't love the others, but anyway, they were a little bit too bright slash dark. The blue was a little dark for my liking personally. So I'm just saying that if you're thinking that the dye on my head in these clips looks very dark for the colour that's on my hair, you are correct. Yes, you should always put the dye on your head a little bit darker than the colour that you want, but just so you know, the colour of the dye on my head did not result in this colour. I have dyed it since, so, and don't be worried or don't be upset with yourself if when you're dyeing your hair and it doesn't quite go right the first time. Don't worry. Don't panic, just, you know, take your time to correct it. Like, I left it, see how I felt about it, but then when I was like, oh, I'm really not too happy with the colours that I got when I did my roots, you know, I just told you what I did. Just thought I'd mention that as well, because I don't think I did it perfect the first time, still not perfect this time, I'm still learning. But it's just practice really, and like I said, I've had split hair colour before, I've dyed my hair loads of colours before, so obviously before you dye your hair you have to prepare it. What I did was, it's no rocket science, I'm sure you can figure it out yourself, but you divide your hair into the sections that want to be different colours. To get my part in, which is not straight, I am aware, it's really difficult. I think I actually did a better job the first time I dyed it. And then the second time I was like, I know what I'm doing, I'll just beep beep beep, like, you know, I just kind of did it without as much thinking. But the way I do it is, I don't brush in my fringe, but if you don't have a fringe you don't have to worry about it. Even though if you're looking at this you might. But if I brush my hair back, it kind of naturally falls into my parting, because I always try and let my hair dry and stuff in this set parting. If it doesn't go like that, this kind of comb is the best comb. I love this comb, and then you just, you know, mine's done it pretty straight, so so yeah, the way I do it is I just brush it back, then it all bunches up, and then you like brush it down and it should kind of go to your natural parting, which for me is quite central. But if it doesn't go exactly where you want it, this kind of thin comb to really precisely get it where you want is best. Hence why I don't think I did too great this time around, because I think I just did it this method and I didn't. But anyway, so as you can see in the footage, I get some hair bubbles and I tie it up. That is another thing why it's kind of harder when you have short hair, because it's hard to tie up the little bits at the back. I have a shaved bit and I really want to dye the shaved bit, but I want to dye it a different colour to these bits. So because it's so hard to tie it up, I'm waiting until my hair's a little bit longer to do that. I am growing my hair out if you're curious. So it's not the cleanest at the back because the little tiny hairs that couldn't go in the ponytails were there to like mingle. But it's not the worst. But I would, with my experience doing half and half hair in the past, I feel like it's a lot easier when you have longer hair because you can like bring it to the front and you just have to worry about making sure that your parting is straight and then the rest is showing at the front, and it's a lot easier to like keep in control. And I guess it would be easier if you had even shorter hair because then you don't have to tie it up at all. I just have this really awkward length hair, but if you have awkward length hair as well, you can do it too. So yeah, I just tied it up into the 3 sections, my fringe and my 2 bits. I think the most difficult part for me was making sure I had exactly the fringe bit set out, because if that didn't look right, you know what I mean? Like if I think the first time I did it, I accidentally, somehow one of these hairs got purple in it, so I don't know if I accidentally put it in my fringe part. No idea. Like I said, people make mistakes and it's cool. This is temporary dye, it's not gonna harm my hair, you know, I just let it, I just tried my best next time. And then we get onto the dyeing. So, if you're curious, I don't know if I put it anywhere in the thumbnail or anything, but I used Colour Freedom. I've used Colour Freedom before. I go back and forth with it because I had a break from it and I couldn't remember why I had a break from it when I was trying out like Arctic Fox and the I Heart Revolution ones and stuff like that. And I realised that the reason why I went off Colour Freedom for a while is it can come out patchy, especially if you dilute it. It might not be patchy if you dilute it with their actual diluting solution. I don't do that. I just get conditioner because I like to dilute it a lot and I can't afford their actual dilute conditioner thing. Because when I went completely pink, I'll show a picture here, it looks really cute and it was really cute, but it was really patchy, but luckily it went like patchy in a nice way that looked like highlights. That was me diluting like their red, I think it was. I had the idea to get red, dilute it a lot, and then I would have pink dye for like eternity, okay? I haven't got much money. I try my best to like do stuff on a budget, okay? But it did go quite patchy-ish, but I didn't hate it. So I think that's why originally when I did do this dye, I didn't do it that pastel because I was scared that it would come out patchy. So I did it a lot darker, but I didn't like it. So this is actually me dyeing it twice with a pastel kind of shade that I'll show you here. This is the kind of like pink that I made in the blue. It looks very different on camera. I might try and see if I can colour correct it, but it didn't look quite like that. I was trying to mess around with the settings on my camera and it didn't quite look like it did in person. It can be a bit tricky with pastel shades with Colour Freedom, but now I think I've got the knack if you just do it twice. If you want it super pastel but not pastel but saturated, does that make sense? If you want it pastel but saturated, do it pastel but you gotta dye it twice. So that's how I've come to terms with it, because I love Colour Freedom. I think, you know, I have used the dyes quite a lot, but sometimes it doesn't come out the best. And it might be like the conditioners I'm using. I'm really not faulting Colour Freedom. It's just you've got to learn how to adapt to different dyes because they're different consistencies and all that stuff. So I love Colour Freedom, but if you are gonna really go like pastel, like I wouldn't say this is too pastel, but it's kind of, like I said, it's pastel but like saturated pastel. I like it anyway. Because yeah, the first time I dyed it pastel, I didn't get any pictures because not be feeling too great about my appearance and I just wanted to get it looking nicer. So I didn't get any shots, but it was super patchy, especially the pink. And that's why we'll go on to why I dyed. The order that I dyed these in, I dyed the pink first because in my hair, and again, this is all, can be all different to all the different dyes you use or the different hair types everyone has, you kind of got to know what's right for your hair. Because I know everyone's different. Blue sticks to my hair, like it doesn't leave. I know generally I think blue is one of the hardest to come out, and pink does not stay in. Pink is generally one of those colours, doesn't matter what hair dye you use, except that I Heart Revolution one that I dyed my side shave, and then I dyed the rest of my hair with that. That one actually stayed in my hair. But other than that, that's the only pink I found which kind of stayed in my hair quite a bit. But most pinks don't stay in my hair for a while. We'll see with this. I mean, when I dyed it the darker shades, it was doing pretty well. I washed it once and it didn't look as bad as I thought it did. So we'll see. We'll see how it is with this more like pastel shade. So I did the pink first because I wanted that to be on my hair the longest, because that would need more time. And then I think the original time I did the blue first and then the purple, but the second time I did it, swapped it around, I did the purple next and then the blue, because the blue does not take nearly as much time. Because as well, when I went pastel the first time, the purple kind of just toned my hair and only gave me like a bit of blue. So I put in more pink because basically, you might be like, you don't have any purple dye. No, I don't, because again, I'm a cheapskate. I like to save money when I can, so I just bought pink and blue, and then I added them together to make a purple! Woo, colour theory. So yeah, which I like because, like I said, I could easily adjust it, like add some more pink to get this shade. This is a really rambly video, but basically tie your hair up, put on the lightest or more delicate shade first, and then make your way up to like the more staining colours, if that makes sense. I personally like to keep my hair dye on as long as I can. The first time, I think I only left it on for an hour, which is really short for me, but I was in a rush, hence why I don't think I really liked it that much, because I wasn't really planning it as much. And anyway, second time I dyed it pastel, I think I left it in for 2 hours, a bit more than that. We watched a movie, so it was probably a bit longer than 2 hours. And then with the second time I did it pastel, which resulted in this over the first pastel, I think I left it in for like 3, maybe 4 hours. I like to leave it in, and once it starts to get dry, like the dye starts to dry in your hair, then I wash it off. I just leave it as long as I can. And because it's not damaging my hair, it's fine. And I put a lot of conditioner in it to dilute it, so... Oh, that's another thing, right? I forgot this because I haven't done pastel hair in such a long time, because I had yellow for a while, which I didn't have to like dilute or anything. But if you're diluting dye, put the conditioner in first and then put in the tiniest little bit of dye. Just keep slowly adding the dye. Because the first time I did it the other way, and I put in dye and then conditioner, and then I was like, oh, poo. I need to add more and more conditioner if I want it to get lighter. And then I couldn't be bothered, so then it didn't end up that light. So if you put in the conditioner first, kind of the amount that you think you will need for hair dye, and then you just keep adding the most tiny little amounts of dye, and then yeah. That is something I re-taught myself with doing this hair, and I think it's quite important if you are if you don't want to waste dye. I also have a few little tubs you'll be able to see in my little shots I think I got, especially for the purple. Little tubs to put your hair dye in if you do make too much, because you know, this kind of dye, it's okay to leave it a while. Obviously you can't leave it too long, but I've now got pre-made purple for, you know, a couple of weeks now when I need to keep topping it up. So, you know, reuse little plastic tubs to keep your dye in and all that jazz. And then you've got it on hand to maybe just top it up before you go in the shower and stuff like that. Yeah, so And that's another thing, in the shower I try to like wash it separately just in case it bleeds. So I try to keep my part in and like wash so it doesn't, you know, bleed onto each other. Yes, it's a pain, but I'm a perfectionist and I don't want it to mess it up after I've done a good job. I've done a good job. Be kind to yourselves. So yeah, that's how I did my hair with Colour Freedom and just a random generic white conditioner. Make sure it's white, obviously. If you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll reply to you as soon as I can. This is probably a mess because I haven't been on YouTube in such a long time, but I'm planning on coming back with full force. I've just have to get used to new living situation and where to film and stuff like this. What do we think of this filming section? You know, I'm gonna put some stuff on the wall. It won't be a blank wall forever, but like I said, I'm poor and I gotta do things slowly. I can't just finish my room like that. But anyway, if you guys want like an update video as well, leave that down below. There will be a video all about my graduation and uni on my art channel, so check that out. There'll be a link to that at somewhere on the screen or in the description. So yeah, I hope this was either entertaining or informal or, you know, just something to listen to in the background. Thank you, I appreciate it. My voice must not be that terrible. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. That's, you know, what I'm saying. Thank you. I hope you like this video, and like I said, yeah, you know, like if you'd like to, comment down below something, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I don't have a cool outro. Comment down below a cool outro. Bye!